everyone, it's Robin, RS Island Crafts, and welcome to my studio. This is my Whip It Wednesday video where I'm going to show you the crafty goodness that I worked on this week. Thank you guys so much for the nice comments from last week's video. We're still playing with the lighting a little bit here, but this is the way the background looks. If you might notice, there's no more quilts hanging up here. The rooster fell down last week after I did the video, and this morning, Monday, the tree fell down. So the only mini quilts I have left are 3 over here where you can't see them. I've decided that when the last mini quilt falls off the wall, that's when it's time to pack up the room and move. They've just been slowly falling down. I tried putting them back up and everything, and it's just not staying. And for the amount of time we're going to be here, it's not worth it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me during the live stream where we worked on our turkey. So here's the batik one that I did in advance. Some people like to see what the back looks like. We were talking about the different creatures that this might look like, and I say creature because I just looked at it, and this portion here, it just reminded me of Nessie the Loch Ness Monster. And during the live stream, we made this version. So if you haven't watched that video, you can go ahead and check back, or just go to the description box of that video if you want to get the link to the pattern that I used to sew these guys up with. Now on our next live stream at 3 p.m. Eastern on November 17th, we're going to do the maple leaves that was on Lori Holt's blog that went with the turkey. She's like, oh, I made the maple leaves and that inspired me to make the turkey. So next live stream, we're going to go ahead and make a maple leaf or two to go ahead and go with our turkey. So maybe we want to make a turkey with a couple of maple leaves around it. There's a lot of creative things you can do. I'm really into the half square triangles and the hourglass blocks or quarter square triangles. So you can have your turkey and you can either put solid fabric blocks like these are 3.5 inches, so you have to figure out the numbers or something. Well, let's just say a 2.5 inch blocks. So you can put a bunch of 2.5 inch blocks here and there, add a little bit of a narrow border just to make it work so that the sizes will work for you, and to separate it off from the turkey. And I think that would be really cute for a pillow. Or you can just put a thin fabric around it, whatever your background is, and then just put either one fabric or little rectangles all the way around to build it out so that it's big enough to turn into like a table topper. Or 2024 is going to be the year of pillows, so you could turn it into a pillow very easily. You could just add border fabric around it and make it into a 16-inch pillow form to fit a 16-inch pillow form, and that would work too. So whether you want the more autumnal fabrics and colors, or you want something fun and bright, this would be cute turned into a table topper and put it on like the kids' table for Thanksgiving, or to have a little centerpiece near it, a little cornucopia or something all the way around it. You can do a lot with this, or just hang it on the wall, or put it in a quilt. Now these half square triangles were large enough to get the bonus half square triangles, but since I'm really into the hourglass blocks, I went ahead and here's the batik ones. So there was 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 that we created when we do the, you stitch down on the line and you cut it 1/4 inch away. You could do that extra line to make half square triangles, or just go with the quarter square or hourglass. This is green. Is really light there and bright. So we have this one, and then I found this one in my container and I went ahead and stitched this up. Drop something on the floor here and a cat is going to dive for it thinking it's something fun. Then they find out it's not fun at all. Now because I was working on these, I also spent a little time working on other of the hourglass blocks. So anytime I cut the little pieces off, I've been saving the cut off triangles. A lot of them are really tiny from when I was doing the flying geese mini quilt and the tote bags and stuff, when I did that Halloween tote bag. So I have a used craft room didn't have like actual turkey in it or anything like that. So I have a gallon-sized Ziploc baggie just to hold things. Apparently I trimmed these to 2 1/4, so who knows what I'm trimming them to. It's not going to really matter because I'm going to do a totally scrappy project with it, so I can add in little bits and little small strips or blank squares and stuff to build it up. So I'll just keep filling this up until I have enough to make a wall hanging or a quilt. I thought that would be just a fun way to use up these bits and to play around a little bit and have some creativity. Now these could sit in this baggie and just keep growing, and maybe I'll do something next year with it, or maybe it's just going to sit here for 5 years until I decide what to do. It's not taking up a lot of space, it's not hurting anybody, so it can be there. It's just something I work on here and there when I have the scraps. I can take any of my random scraps and add to it if I feel like it, especially if there's a fabric that I really like, or I decide I want to add more purples or oranges or something to it. My last crafty bit is another flying geese project, right? Of course it is. This is the project that I worked on with my patrons. This is from the 2014, I believe, Aurifil quilt-along type thing they were doing back in 2014. So you have a partial seam that you have to sew. So you have all these flying geese going around it. I added some red, white, and green polka dots on white to build it out so that it can be a pillow, of course. So check out this fun fabric on the back. Well, I think those are bunnies. Bunnies and squirrels all playing in the snow and bundled up having a good time. As I said, a basic envelope pillow, so you just pop it in there. And for this one, I used the diagonal of the serpentine stitch, the wiggly squiggly. Now this one I did on my machine and I didn't create it myself, which means I let the stitches on the machine slowly go through instead of just taking my project and moving it like this as I was quilting it. I finally remembered to put one of my tags in while I was sewing this little seam hemmed up bit there instead of trying to put it on afterwards, which is annoying. I'm so excited because I ordered new tags to come in. I have some that can go right on the front of bags and stuff, and then little tiny ones that can go onto key fobs and other small projects like coasters or whatever. So they won't be the kind like I have currently, the satiny kind that you fold in half and you stick underneath somewhere and you have to stitch it into a seam so it like sticks out the side of a bag or inside a lining. So I'm really excited for those to come in. I'll show you guys next week when they come in, and I'll talk about the company. The turnaround on it was just spectacular, but I'll show you those when they come in. Now this week, Miranda's back home again. She was home last Sunday through Wednesday. She came back home yesterday, Sunday, and she'll be here through Wednesday again. It's just the way doctor's appointments and everything worked out and her time to come home. So she's home twice in basically a week. And then things will settle back down so I can get all the photographs of everything and get it into the shop. I think I've shown this before. This is my Little More planner from 2023. I switched to a different planner for 2024. This one, it's fine. I just wanted one with these spirals on it. So this time I have this one. It's a Taja. I don't know anything about the brand. I just picked it up on Amazon because it was like $7. It has the little metal corners here and it's got the double rings here so it lays nice and flat when you open it up. This one is also bigger, thicker, and chunkier, and it has a lot of stuff in here for like planner type people that I don't really need, so I went and got a nice streamlined one. This one also was really inexpensive last year, which again is why I purchased it. But now as I've been using it this year, I learned more about what I need and what I use and stuff like that. So I have a nice simple one. My main thing for what I need is I just need a calendar, a nice flat calendar, so that I can write down videos, what videos have gone up, what videos I want to record for the month. Because for me, decision paralysis is crazy. I know what needs to be done, but by choosing which thing to do, I just can't do it, and it drives me crazy. And what I really was looking for, and I looked hard and it took me a while, several months to find the one I wanted, is I wanted something with a day-by-day thing where you can write it down. Now this is pretty small, but it's not that big of a deal. But this one has a Saturday and Sunday, so they're not squished together. They actually have their own space, and I love that. I don't do Amazon affiliate links or anything, so if you want to know the link, just let me know and I'll add it in. So all of that because what I started doing is I just make a long list, and I have my mug. I have my mug of colors here that I like to choose all of my different felt tip markers from. It took me a better part of a year to figure out which writing utensils I wanted, and it does still let me write quickly, so I do get a little scribbly. It doesn't smear, it doesn't go through the page. So they're just basic Papermate flares in the medium tip. I think they're really popular with the planners and scrapbooker type people. But what I've been doing is at the beginning of the week, I start writing down things I need to do, and I just keep adding to it, and then I scratch it off. So when I come back after lunch or I come back the next day, I can open this up and say, oh, okay, this is what I need to do. And it's been allowing me to get a little bit more done in the space of my days versus going, I'll go out and talk to the kids. Maybe I'll get a drink. I'll kind of look outside, go outside and walk around the house a little, play with the cats and whatever. Now I know this is what I need to do. So hopefully that's going to allow me to be more productive and actually get things done. So I will put on my schedule to take pictures so that I can add these to the shop. Turkey is so cute. So this is something that's going to go into the shop, as I've mentioned numerous times, and I have a few other things. Again, if you ever see something that you'd like to purchase, just let me know and I'll pop it into the shop real quick. Even if I know someone's definitely going to purchase it like in the next day or two, I'll just take one quick picture, put a couple words, and get it out there listed for you. Now for working on this project, this was 4 at a time flying geese, which I haven't done in years and years and years, and I don't think I did it more than once or twice. And they were weird numbers. I wanted to do certain fabrics, though I can't complain because I have these red and green Christmas owls. The only thing Christmassy about it is red and green. This red on red print. And then of course the ho 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 in the center, and then the polka dots. So I wanted to do a variety of reds with a few greens, and it just didn't work for me. I couldn't get the numbers to work when you just make one flying geese and the ones that they had for that. So I just tried a bunch. Did I mention I tried a bunch? When you're doing them 4 at a time and you're trying to get it so everything works out right so you don't lose the points and stuff like that, you're going to go through 4 and collect 4 every time. So if you look at these, you can see I'm going to definitely lose that point there. This is not 1/4 of an inch from the tip to here. But I decided that since all of these are like that, they're all the right size, they're all the correct size, I'm going to lose all the tips. So if I lose all of the tips, then that's considered something that's planned. So I'm going to see if I have enough to go ahead and make another one of these because I really love the way this looks, and it'll just lose the points. It's a pillow or a wall hanging, it'll be fine. I do have a few that are smaller, and after I made the first 2 or 3 with the good fabric, I switched to using snowflakes just so I wouldn't waste it. And you can see, if you've made flying geese with me, the fabric doesn't meet. There you go. The red goes right here, and it's only about 1/8 of an inch from where the white ends and the corner, but that's still going to be enough that it's going to look weird when you sew it in. And it's only a few of those like that, and the rest of them, the actual white part goes all the way down. So it was crazy. There's a few of them where there's extra bulk at the tip also. So I don't know. It'll work out fine for something like a pillow or a scrappy quilt. So I'm going to save these and turn them into something. I'm going to add that to my list for this week to see what I get done. Today's my big shopping day for the month, and then I also have doctor's appointments on next Thursday, so we'll just kind of balance it all out. Remember next Friday's live stream on the 17th, November 17th, 2023. If you're watching this later, we're going to go ahead and make the maple leaves to match this. I might have enough of this fabric to go ahead and do that. The shop still has some scrap bundles of the fabric strips left in it, so if you're interested, you can still grab a few. Thank you guys so much for those who have been ordering them. Everyone has been going out in the mail each day. Of course, the mail doesn't come on Sundays, so there'll be more for the mailman to pick up today. Wish me luck, because I think I'm going to be going to 4 grocery stores today. The drop Robbie to work. Then I have to go to Publix, Sam's, the Dollar Tree, and Walmart. I have to go to 5 stores today. No big deal. They're all right in a row, so it'll be easy. Then I have to remember to stop at the storage unit because I'm going to buy a nice eye of the round roast at Sam's so that we can slice up for roast beef sandwiches. because the cost of roast beef sandwiches and sliced deli meat is outrageous. So we're just going to slice our own. So I hope everyone has a great week. I hope you guys are starting to prepare for Thanksgiving because that time is just right around the corner. I'll see you guys later. Bye. Real quick before you go, I wanted to show you the business cards that came in the mail. I recorded the first part of this video Monday morning, ran out and did all of my shopping, got my flu shot. Oh, that flu shot got me hard this year. I think it's because I was running around like a maniac and got that in the middle of it. When I got home, the mail came and my product tags, whatever you want to call them, were right there and ready for me. So I thought I'd show you. I purchased these from Ever Emblem. I'll put a link down below in the description box. They have an Etsy shop and they also have a web page. Now, from what I was reading, the web page has more options for you. And then the Etsy shop is just because everyone has an Etsy shop, so you need an Etsy shop and it's just easy. I think I went through and did the whole process at night one evening after dinner. I received a message through Etsy with the proofs the next day. And in an hour and a half, I was totally shocked. I'm figuring this is a pretty big company. Everyone talks about it. There's a lot of people that are getting these little labels and stuff. But in an hour and a half, I got the notification that your labels have shipped. And I ordered 2 sets of labels. One has 100 and the other has 40. So this is the envelope it came in. My address and their address and everything is underneath there. So this was sitting on my step. It was really nice that the mailman didn't bend it or anything. So it came in really great shape. It's a bright, colorful thing. I am a huge proponent of receiving something in the mailbox, opening it up, and having it be so bright and colorful. That itself makes you excited. Which is why I chose the aqua envelopes for my products when I send them out. If you've never ordered from me, this is the envelopes. I have this size, a larger size, and I also have a dark purple because that was the only color I could get out of that size at the time. If you order something from me, you'll open up your mailbox and you'll have this in there. Now for me, I did have to decide between the bright, fun, colorful polka dots and the aqua was a cost decision. And the cost of your envelopes also goes into the cost of your products. So that's just something I needed to be careful of. So I went with the aqua, which I thought for the price was still a great option to open up your mailbox and see something like this in there. I would love to send you something with a big old pink flamingo on it or something like that. But for now, this is my best option. But back to the labels here. I thought this was fun. Beautiful labels for well-made goods. So I opened this up. This reminded me of when the kids got their school photos. I'm pretty sure this is the exact envelope they use for school photos. Yep, this measures almost 9 by 12, and I think the school photos were 8.5 by 11. So it has all the different instructions for use. You could order your labels and have them cut it, or you can order it in sheets and cut it yourself. And I can use my ruler and the rotary cutter. I also have the Stripology ruler now if I want to get a super straight line. So I thought I'm going to save that money. I don't remember if it was 50% off or whatever, but it was a large enough difference that I wanted to go ahead and cut my own label. So that's why it came like this. It's always fun when you have a sticker on it. Now, I wanted the ones that were cotton labels that had the heat and bond on the back so that you can, it's a heat and bond light, and I'll show you why. I'm 100% sure that that's what it is. But you put the heat and bond light on the back of the labels, you cut them off, and you can iron it onto your project and then come back and stitch around it. So that way, when you're trying to pin a satin label on or something and it starts to wiggle while you're trying to stitch it, it's almost like trying to sew Velcro down. So these are the smaller ones that I ordered. The picture in the Etsy shop shows them on the back of a key fob, so they're really nice. I think they're 1.5 by 1/2 inch. I was gonna say by 50 inches. It's 1.5 inches by 1/2 inch. And you can choose all different fonts, so that's the one I chose. And you can see where you line up the ruler to cut them and stuff. And I'm wondering if you might be able to go ahead and cut this through one of the big, I call them the school cutters. Mine's in storage, and just using a ruler and a rotary cutter will be fine. So I have several sheets of these. I thought these would be good for the key fobs, the coin pouches, and somewhere where you want to put a little label that's just kind of off to the side somewhere and not glaring in your face. I do still want to make my own labels, but I feel like I'm not quite ready at this moment in this situation that I'm in. So once I'm settled in Arizona, I'll go ahead and start working on that. The ability to print them is really kind of simple. You can print them with your printer for the most part. There's a whole bunch of videos. You can get special papers and fabrics and all of that stuff, or you can just print it on this. Now, I thought it was going to be a bright white, but I've been told that this will be fine, and I'll know better once I put it against the fabric and stuff that I'm working on. So here's the labels that I have been using, and these have to be folded over and then stitched into a product so that it's hanging out like this. Some people don't like it, so they cut it off. Some people don't want to, you know, advertise someone else's shop, so they cut them off. Oh, what I was going to show you is really, it's not that far off when you're looking at it. So it's just me going, oh, I thought it was going to be this really bright, crisp white. I went to the Dollar Tree yesterday in my errands to pick up more of these, but my store is switching over to the Dollar Tree Plus or whatever they call it. So the $3 and $5 items are coming in, which was a little exciting. And some of the $5 items, I could see reasonably spending $5 on it. But for the most part, I go to Dollar Tree for specific things, and $1.25 is about what I want to spend. But these usually come in 3-packs, and you find them during the springtime and the beginning of school season at the end of summer. Going into Christmas mode, they had none of these. I think there was one small stack of those Rubbermaid food storage containers with the red lid on it, and that's it. The whole aisle, everything had been switched over there. It was just, my store's a mess right now. So for now, I'll probably leave them just like this, cut off what I need, put the loose ones in a Ziploc baggie until I can get more of those storage containers. Now for my larger item, I went with their tag that had a heart on it, so I thought that was cute. There weren't anything with flamingos. I have not been able to find an Etsy shop or somewhere simple online that puts a flamingo on it. I know I can give them an image that they can legally use to put the flamingo on, but then it becomes most people want to put the flamingo there, so I want a flamingo here and then have my name, but the flamingo's tall, the name is long, so whatever. For now, I thought the heart was just cute. So I thought these would be really nice to go on to the larger bags, the tote bags and stuff like that. It can also go inside on the lining, so if I don't want to have it on the outside being big and obtrusive, I can still pop one of these guys on or something. So on the back, you can feel the paper. It's a lightweight adhesive. It says that in the directions. There's versions you can get that have like no adhesive, 15-second adhesive, 20-second adhesive or whatever, depending if you're putting it on yarn items or what you have. They just have a little rubber stamp, I imagine, to put that on. But, see? Heat and Bond Light. I thought that's what they were going to use, and I thought, well, that's what I'm going to use when I go ahead and make my own. Because you can sew through this, it holds it in place, and you're good to go. So you could also put the Heat and Bond Permanent, the red no-sew kind on, but I would use that for something like maybe you aren't going to be washing it and stuff like that. There is the possibility of things fading if they're used over time and washed a lot. So sometimes the best idea might be to go ahead and put this on the lining so that when you open up your zipper pouch, you can see it right there below the zipper. Some people have a rubber stamp that they just stamp inside on the lining. I've gone back and forth with that and stuff, but then I wonder, you know, some of them, well, most of the ones I've seen, the labels are this big. So you have to stamp it on there, and then you have to make sure you sew everything together so that instead of, you know, having everything lined up and having your stamp right here, what if I sewed the bag together, the lining crooked, and I need to trim it up and my stamp ends up like this? I guess I could stamp on a piece of fabric and then sew that to the lining, but then you're right back to this. I think the most cost-effective way will be to print them myself. But for now, when time and resources are a little limited, this is what I'm choosing. I also received a business card with a QR code on it, a QR code thingy, yes, and then also a discount code to reorder the labels. And they have special things on their Etsy shop. If you order it here, then there's a special listing to reorder them. We'll see how these do, and then if I'm going to order more, I don't see why I wouldn't. I'm very pleased with the way they look, and I think that's going to go ahead and work out well. See if you can see, oh yeah, you can see the lines a bit more. So I'm just going to line up my ruler and then just put it on there on those X's, and then I can just go ahead and cut them. I'm pretty sure after I cut the first row, I'm just going to be a mad maniac person and I'm going to cut all of them. I did see they also sell just one individual label, and I wanted to see what that was for, because who's going to buy just one label? You can have them custom make your quilt labels if you want something for, if you're giving it as a baby gift for a shower, a wedding, anniversary, and you want to have it look really nice and your writing's not all that great and you don't know how to use the computer to print it out and stuff, then you can go ahead and have that done. And it'll be quick and easy. And I thought the prices were really good for all of the different labels. That's it. I won't come back again. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and for checking out Ever Emblem. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.